It's 8:30. Good morning, I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. 3 young women from the Hunter have fronted Gosford Court, accused of trying to smuggle drugs into a Central Coast music festival last month, where a 22-year-old man died from an overdose. The Daily Telegraph says a 19-year-old nursing student from Newcastle has been placed on an 18-month good behaviour bond after admitting to internally concealing 10 MDMA capsules. A 19-year-old from Maryland pleaded guilty to possessing 12 pills, while an 18-year-old from Ashtonfield admitted to possessing 10 capsules, with her case adjourned. Newcastle's nighttime economy is set for a boost if Labor wins the March state election. Liquor licensing laws will be relaxed to allow more venues across the state to host live entertainment. The move would also see a one-stop shop for both residents and venues to objectively deal with noise complaints, while $1.2 million will be allocated to a soundproofing program for existing venues. Newcastle MP Tim Crackenthorpe says the policy will ensure live music thrives in the city.
Liquor licence laws have allowed serial wowsers to hold venues to ransom. So this is a great plan to have live music thrive, not just survive. It's a plan to get more musicians in our community, to draw people in. Live music does, and to spend money in our local economy. It's a real win-win.
A bedroom at the Belmont North home has sustained smoke damage in an overnight fire. It's believed a lithium battery sitting on the bed caught fire at the Arlington Street home at about 8 last night. Fire crews from Belmont and Tingira Heights were quickly on scene. However, the male occupant managed to put out the blaze with a couple of CO2 fire extinguishers, smashing the bedroom window from outside and pointing them at the flames. Funding from MS Research Australia is helping 2 University of Newcastle researchers advance treatments for multiple sclerosis. Professors Sadullah Ramadan and Rodney Scott are leading 2 separate projects covering unexplored territory in the field. Professor Ramadan was granted $25,000 for his work into combating fatigue and says Newcastle is the only place this research is being conducted.
This is the only place where we are giving this type of supplement here and at ANU. The MR component, the magnetic resonance spectroscopy component, is the only place in the world where this is happening.
The University of Newcastle will partner with leading Sydney researchers to protect a threatened frog species in the Sydney and Blue Mountains regions, thanks to a state government grant. The $300,000 Save Our Species grant will fund research and fieldwork into the threatened frogs suffering from an incurable disease. Professor Michael Marnie says the program will help maintain the population of frogs in the area.
What we do know is that frogs are threatened by an invasive disease called Kittredge Fungus, which has resulted in the extinction of up to 7 Australian frogs in the last 30 years and about 120 frogs around the world. And there's nothing we can do to cure that disease at present. We have no method except for bringing frogs into captivity and breeding them in captivity.
2NURFM Sport.
The Newcastle Jets will turn their attention to this Sunday's game against the Glory in Perth after scoring a 1-0 win over the Mariners last night. It's their 5th straight victory over their Central Coast rivals and cements their 7th place on the ladder to keep their finals hopes alive. Coach Ernie Merrick says he hopes it marks a much-needed turning point in their season.
Well, that's the hope, isn't it? You're hoping that it's the start of gaining some momentum and going from here and kicking on. But 2 tough away games, Perth and then the Wanderers, but we can do it. We can do it.
Round 2 of the Newcastle T20 Summer Bash wraps up tonight when Waratah host Belmont and the Rosellas take on the Seagulls at number 1 Sports Ground. Last night, Hamilton Wickham kept their undefeated record intact with a run out on the last ball to beat Charlestown. And controversial night centre Tatau Mogo will see a specialist next Wednesday for the all clear after a 4th knee reconstruction put an early end to his 2018 season. The 25-year-old is due to front court on March 21 on assault charges, just 6 days after the Knights' round 1 clash with the Sharks. And the winning numbers in Wednesday Lotto are 36, 3, 6, 16, 21 and 9, and the supplementaries are 34 and 41. 2NURFM News Time, 26 to 9.